Hi, my name is Bousquet,
Hello, I'm Barry.
and we're doing our first podcast.
We figured we'd do the first Let's Review series in a different way than just a Tumblr post. Maybe you guys will like it. You might hate it, so we'll go all the way back to reviews. It's
Yeah, you never know.
new experiences.
You could try new things. So we're talking about a game called Undertale. It's brand new. It came out the 14th of September this year, 15 days ago.
It's created by Toby Fox. He made it pretty much all by himself.
Yeah, it's pretty-
music, art, gameplay, everything by himself. So
Yeah, he had a little bit of help. I think I saw in the credits that he had some people help him with the models and
he
stuff.
said that on his website, that mostly by himself. He didn't really give explanations to who helped him with what, but
Yeah. Once you beat the game, you'll find out. I have a friend who beat the game. I'm not. I'm pretty close to beating the game, and very.
I'm about 2 hours in.
2 hours out of 6, so
Yeah.
he's getting there. Yeah, we're basically just gonna tell you guys how we thought about this game because it's a review of the game, Undertale. Do you have anything to say about the story?
The story is pretty simple. It's about a human who falls into the underground and is trapped in a world filled with monsters. They are very unkind monsters, and she has to either find her way out or she's stuck there forever.
Well, most of them are unkind. There's a few very nice souls out there, but they're sort of difficult to find. Although you do stumble upon one at the very beginning, which you'll find when you start the game. It's only $10 on Steam as well, so it's not an investment really. It's well worth the money too. Yeah, I would suggest people getting this game.
Yeah, it's very good. It's good to support independent people, especially if he built almost all of it by himself.
Yeah, I found the story very engaging. It twists and tricks your mind a lot. It's different from a lot of games. The story does things that you don't expect. At the end, you discover things that you didn't expect to be true. It completely tricks you. It's crazy.
The characters are very funny for the ones who need to be funny. The ones who are rude are very rude. The ones who are one-off are sad. They're very sad and engaging. Even the one-off characters are very engaging in the story. Even the monsters that you face, who you don't normally think about in other RPGs, are very engaging since the game really focuses on the monsters and emotions and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, and it uses emotions. It's interesting. It uses emotions not through a voice. It uses it through sound. And it uses the text and the sound as the voice for the characters. So there's no actual talking like we're talking now. It's more like noise with the text, and it's really interesting. And it actually you can like feel how that monster or that person would talk in real life if they were talking like we are. Really well written. It is made to be hilarious at times and really sad at times. You're on an emotional roller coaster the whole time. You don't know what's happening next, and it's really engaging. So
If you don't like puns, you might want to skip out on the game because a lot of the jokes are pun jokes. So
yeah, it's very punny, but it isn't bad. It's not like it's kind of corny.
yeah, the puns can be ignored. The game's worth it if you're not a huge fan of puns. You can just sort of cringe at them and go on.
Yeah.
It won't hurt your experience with the game.
You can skip over everything if you just keep clicking. I mean, it's not like really that hard to skip over the gameplay if you're really just wanting to like skip over the story and just go to the gameplay. You can really do that, but I would not skip over the story because the story is really, really fun. It's really
And the game's pretty short, 6 hours, so skipping all the story and stuff would really hinder it to a really boring RPG without story. And
Yeah.
RPGs don't work without the story.
the encounters are very unique. The fighting style. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, the gameplay is really, or most of the gameplay is your basic RPG, exploring a world, battle system. But they introduced something into the game that's kind of new. It's a mercy system where you talk to the enemy and you try to connect with them. And then if you're able to, you can have mercy on those monsters and you don't have to kill them. You don't have to kill any monsters in this game. Everyone can live if you want to play it that way, or you can kill everyone. It's really up to the player for what he wants to do.
Yeah, you can. Oh, going off what you were saying, you can either you can fight them and kill them, which then ups your level, or they call it love in this game, or you can talk to them and not hit them at all, and then they usually will just like back down. They'll be like, all right, you're a really nice person, I don't want to fight you, and then they'll back down because the monsters, they're really mad at humans. This is the story. They're really mad at humans because of something that happened in the past, and the thing is that they're very forgiving, and you just have to make them realize that you're a nice person, and that's what that type of fighting style comes from. But you can also hit them and then give them mercy once they're low on health. There's 3 ways really that you can win.
Yeah, so far I've been very talking to them them and sparing them, I guess is what they call it in the game. When you spare them, you don't get experience points, but you do still get gold. So
yeah, and if you just want to talk your way through the whole thing, you don't even need experience, because experience is just for the fighting aspect of the game. The talking aspect doesn't really improve when you get experience. So yeah, you choose what you do, and the game punishes you based on what you do as well. It's really interesting. It's not one of these games that is just this, and this is what's going to happen if you do this, because everyone does this, and there's no other story that'll come out of this. It's one of those games that this could happen or this could happen based on what you do here. And you want to be a bad guy? Then sure, it's gonna be a little tougher for you down the road because you're being mean to people. If you want to be the good guy, then sure, we're gonna be a little bit nicer to you. Oh, you were a nice guy, so you're gonna gain more friends. Stuff like that.
So if you're really a big fan of dynamic gameplay that lets you make choices and either suffer from those choices or get reward for that choices, you will really like this game's gameplay. It's sort of like games like Infamous, Mass Effect, where you get choices, and then if you make one choice that ends up killing another character, you can't back out of it. You're stuck with that choice. There's no magic fix the day reward thing at the end.
Yeah, it's basically, sum it up, it's moral choices, and that's what the game is trying to get you to do, is pick the morally right choice. But a lot of people, when they go into RPGs, they want to kill because they're not used to this. It's very different that you can spare people just by talking to them. You can get out of situations just by talking to them. So the game really I think it pushes you to want to fight, but really morally right, you should be just talking out of it. That's what at least they're trying to get you to realize.
Since RPGs are so ingrained with grinding, people are used to killing monsters over and over and over and over. Since that's how RPGs normally work, you have to grind to level up. This game really flips it on its head of you don't need to kill anyone if you don't want to, or if you want to play as a cold blood killer, you can.
Yeah, and it's interesting because once you get farther and farther, you'll start realizing if you go on like a bloodbath path where you're just killing everything, start realizing that it's gonna get impossible for you to get any farther. The game will soon make it literally, I think it makes it literally impossible at some point if you kill everyone.
I haven't killed that many people yet. So.
I'm at this point where now no one wants to talk to me. So I actually have to kill everyone if I want to go on. And the thing is, you meet a lot of nice people and you have to kill them anyways because they don't think you're a nice person. It gets to that point where it's like, oh, you feel like it's morally wrong to kill someone, but the game's forcing you to do it because of your past actions.
They bring that up in the beginning of the game when you're in that first room before you meet an important plot character with those three frogs, and he brings it up that you should show mercy because you'll get to a point where if you don't show mercy and you think someone deserves it, they're not going to listen to you.
Yeah, it makes sense if you think about it, but it's just not like any RPG.
Yeah, just like real life. If you were to be crude and rude to people, they're not going to want to talk to you, and they'll either want to fight you, not literally fist to fist, hopefully, in real life, but this game is really based on how you should treat people in real life.
Yeah, it really makes sense, and I love that about it because it's different, yet it makes sense. It's simple, yet it's not simple because it's so different. I don't know, it's just a mix of both those extremes.
It's very unique for an RPG sort of game to allow to not kill creatures, since RPGs are so based on you kill this monster, get treasure, move on to the next portion, kill this monster, and so on and so forth for most RPGs, that this one's very different in comparison. Recap on the music. The music is very good. It really brings you into the game. It makes you feel that you're in a snowy area, you're in a cave with mean creatures. It's very, very fitting for the areas it's at. And
yeah, it fits the sort of moral choice type of thing that this game's going after, and it has like a mystical yet like almost hopeful feel to it at all times. It changes with the story, which is nice, which it should, and it does it very well as well. It's very beautiful music. It really immerses you into the game more through the music. And there are parts which you need to listen to the music to figure out secret things. There's secret passages that you have to, at one point there's a piano and you have to listen for music at some point earlier, and if you heard the music then you can play that on the piano. I ran into that and I actually got like a legendary item by doing that. The stuff like that, it engages you in the music. It doesn't do that the whole time, but it does do that.
I just thought about something. We forgot a really important portion of the gameplay, the fighting, or the mercy technique with the little heart.
The little fighting, yeah.
That's very, very unique for this game in that when you show mercy or you attack, your enemy gets their next turn like a normal RPG, but for you to block their attack, your character gets changed to a little heart, and you can go around this grid system to avoid their attack, so you can control if they miss you completely, or if you really suck at it like I did at the beginning, you get hit by everything.
Yeah, it's based on, it's very reactionary, that you're using keys, the arrow keys, to dodge out little missiles coming at you, basically. Each character has a different style of attack. You start out, like, your heart is in this little box, because this game is based on your soul. It's kind of like everything. The human soul is like super powerful, so monsters are always trying to kill humans for these souls, or some monsters. And so your soul is kind of like what you use to fight with. And it's very unique. It's not like you're using a sword, it's you're using this thing. And yeah, you try to dodge out their abilities. And you start in this little box, but some bosses, that box can be expanded. And it kind of breaks like what you thought would be the rules. There's like not very many, I don't know, it's kind of out of the box, literally, because sometimes you can just, you'll be a little heart inside a box, and then you'll be able to push the box farther up for certain bosses to dodge abilities, because everything you see may not be true. It really tricks you in that way throughout the whole game, not just for the fighting, but the story as well. It does that.
Yes, but that is very, very unique. It's very interesting, and it's actually a really fun way to introduce a new fighting technique instead of just basic press A to attack, defend over and over. You're really in control of if you get to defend or not. It's not up to numbers. It's how well you're good at doing the blocking with the hearts. It's not normal for most games to allow you that much control over blocking.
Yeah, normally it would be like percentages and like defense stats. This one, there are defense stats, but that's based on how much damage you take when you get hit. You can dodge, you could go throughout the whole game and never get hit. Maybe not like the last boss, but if you were like extremely good somehow, you could technically go throughout the whole game and just never really get hit.
I am nowhere that good. I got hit by everyone at the start,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, it's very difficult, so I doubt anyone's actually ever done that, but it's probably possible. Do you have any dislikes of the game, just to...
Not really. I wish it was a little longer, but I can understand making a game almost all by yourself. That 6 hours is a lot of work. Making games is a lot of work for even AAA companies to do. But no real dislikes come to mind for the game. The characters are very nice. The art style is very simplistic, but it's a good type of simplistic, sort of like 8-bit NES era RPGs.
Yeah, if you know the game Mother or Binding of Isaac, they have similar art styles to that, but the music in this one is just so much better. It's so good. My only dislike would be, if this is even a dislike, I couldn't really think of one, to be honest, and I've watched someone beat the game, and I've played about 3/4 of it, and I feel like the emotional roller coaster it puts you on is almost a dislike, but it's not at the same, like, you know what I mean? You're on an emotional roller coaster, and it's good for a game to get you on that, but it's so it's dragging you everywhere that you're like, oh my god, it's just like overwhelming almost. That's the only thing I could think of.
That might not be a dislike to the game. That might be a dislike to human emotions.
Yeah, I don't know. It's something.
Games need to drag you into them emotionally, or you get bored. Like if this game was Angry Birds, there's no emotional value with Angry Birds. It's flicking a bird at a bunch of pigs.
I was saying that as if there was anything that was really like difficult for me to get through, it would be that it wasn't even like a dislike. It's just the hardest part for me in this game was how much it like messed with your head and how much emotions, like it would be either like really funny or they would be like the saddest part ever and someone important would die and you'd be like, oh, this person was nice. Oh.
That's a plus to the ability of Toby Fox to tell a story, that he gets you that invested with those characters that are 8-bit creatures. So
yeah,
8-bit drawings on a screen, pixels. So it's very, very cool that he could build such an interesting world that makes my partner feel that way about the characters.
It was really well written and it really engaged me a lot. So yeah, it was really good.
Final
thoughts
on the game, or do you have any likes that you really want to point out to anyone? Or
so the biggest like for me was probably what we've been saying, the uniqueness of the whole game. It was different. So I like games that are different because the repetitiveness of games nowadays is getting kind of ridiculous. Everything's the same and then they just add like different characters in it. This one really changed a lot that RPGs have been doing for the past however long they've existed, and I really like that, and more games need to do stuff like this and change what is being done. That's what makes it really stand out, is that it's so different from the other things in its class.
It's very interesting since most indie games now have fit a pattern to be early access, beta, we'll build the game as you continue to pay us. They don't need to release a game right at the start. This game is good on both the RPG, making it different than the normal run-of-the-mill RPG, and for indie games in that it's a complete game, interesting story, very cheap. You don't have to pay $25 for a game that isn't done and might never be done. This is a very good mark on the indie game scene too.
Yeah, it's really helping them overall, because this game is going to be, I think it's going to be around, we talked about for a while now. It's really fun, and if you've been anywhere on the internet, you're going to start seeing this game very soon if you haven't already. I've already seen it everywhere on YouTube. That's just the guys I'm following. I don't know if that's everywhere, but yeah, so if you have $10, which a lot of people do, I would say go and spend it. It's well worth it.
Or if you don't have $10 right off the bat, wait for a Steam sale. They do sales all the time. But it is a game worth playing when it reaches a financial point that you can pay for it.
Yeah, it's definitely worth it, and I would tell your friends about it. Get your friends involved in it. See what their moral choices are. You can see if your friends would do the same thing you did. Your ending is different based on what you do during the game. So who gets the best ending? Does someone get a really nice ending? Does someone get a deadly ending where they can't even finish the game because of what they did?
It's a really good human experience to see what sort of thing your partner would do in the game, or what your brother would do, your sister. It's really interesting to see what sort of game style other people have in the game, whereas games like Call of Duty or any other sort of game, there's really one set motion of boom, kill bad guys. This one, you don't have to kill anyone. You can kill everyone if you want. You really get to see what type of person you are in the game world.
Yeah, and I feel like, unlike Call of Duty and a lot of games, this game could be played by a lot of different ages. It's not like it's extremely complex. I mean, you do need some reactionary skills to dodge out abilities, but other than that, it's just the story is so well done, the music's so good that I think all ages could actually play this game and enjoy it at a similar level. So that's really good, and props to the game maker for that. Do you have any other thoughts?
I would just like to point out that right this second, it is only a PC-only game. It's not on like Xbox Live or the PlayStation Network. Right now it's Steam only or through his website, but maybe if it gets popular enough on Steam, that could change, since games have been taking that turn where if they get really big on Steam, it will get ported PlayStation or Xbox Live, which I really hope it does, because I think everyone should experience this game. It's very fun, and not everyone PC games for whatever reason they have. So I do hope it eventually reaches other markets. That might be a dislike right now that it's PC only, but it's not a huge one. I understand why he had to do it like that, because it's expensive to make a game for PlayStation and Xbox when PC, pretty open range.
Yeah. Well, I think that's it for us.
Yeah, final thoughts on the game. Buy it. It's very fun.
Yeah, that's basically a general consensus here. You should get the game, not too expensive, very cheap actually, and it's very fun and it's worth the money. So yeah, and then I'm Bousquet.
I'm Barry.
And we had fun doing our first podcast with you guys.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. There might be more, maybe not. Depends on you. If you guys like it, if we like doing it, we did. So
yeah.
So.
It was pretty fun. Yeah, if we do this again, it'll be on a review most likely, or a thing where I teach him how to play a game. We're not sure yet.
Yeah, he might teach me how to play League of Legends. You can watch me fail at it multiple times.
Yeah, definitely. It's a hard game to grasp. So yeah.
But yeah, hopefully you had fun listening. See you down the pipeline.